Okay, everyone, welcome to Sci-Fi Graveyard. We're going to discuss the fifth film in the Resident Evil series, Resident Evil Retribution. Resident Evil Retribution was released in theaters on September 14th, 2012, just a week over 10 years ago, which was not planned. That was in the United States and was released by Sony Pictures and Screen Gems. It was shot on a budget of around $65 million and has an estimated worldwide gross of roughly $240 million, give or take some here or there. The film was directed and written by Paul W.S. Anderson and is the fifth film, like I said, in this franchise's continuity. I bring that up because we have at least two more continuities in Resident Evil. However, we're not going to discuss the Netflix series because fuck that show. I watched it for 15 minutes and I wanted the hero to die and the bunny to live.
Are you talking about the TV show?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Netflix series.
I made it through an episode and like 10 minutes of the second episode, and I was like, fuck this.
No, fuck this show.
Like, it was
they already canceled it, so
yeah.
I mean,
it's mostly because they introduced Wesker as a black dude, which is fine. They have him with like two kids, and then one notices that they test on animals, so then they go into the place to, spoiler alert, you're not really missing much, but like at one point they let one of the zombie dogs out, the Zombo dogs, and then it bites one of them, right? And then the alarm is going for like 20 minutes. And I'm like, if it was Umbrella, they would have been there already. What the fuck? There's like nobody there, really.
It was like Diet Umbrella because apparently it was just there's like New Raccoon City and in South Africa and everything. I mean, the aesthetic of the city looked pretty cool because it's like this plain white corporate controlled city. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. I can feel that. But I don't even have a problem with Wesker because, again, just like these movies, they go to fucking clones. But because it's not even the original Wesker. It's not even Albert Wesker as we know from the games or anything else from Raccoon City. It's a clone. He's not the original Wesker, and that's why he's not Wesker. He's a different Wesker.
That is so weird.
But back to
a way to make a show bad from the start. But
yeah, it's like
let's even talk about an even worse thing too.
Well, the thing is, and I'll circle back to the movie. Resident Evil, and I think we've talked about this before. Resident Evil is not a hard property to make a movie out of. It's a fucking horror genre. It's a survival horror story. That's a game. It's almost written for you, and all you have to do is adapt the damn games. But the only movie that comes the closest to that, and we'll get to it, is Welcome to Raccoon City. And that is the second continuity Resident Evil. So there's three continuities. Three. This one with Alice. The second one, which is Welcome to Raccoon City. And then the third was the series on Netflix, which lasted a season. And I don't know. I'm getting on tangent.
Technically, it's like four continuities because there's a bunch of animated films, but technically that's in the same game universe.
Yeah, at least the animated movies, the couple that I've seen, were actually decent, and they take place in the game storyline, so they kind of follow.
Yeah, because we were talking about this movie, and it was funny because I watched Black Phone right before I watched this one, like a day before. And then I noticed that when I was searching on Netflix, they had this one on there, and I was like, I might as well watch this. And I was just like, okay, there was a reason why I never watched this movie.
Yeah, I will say this. I actually do think it's kind of a little bit better than the last one. A little bit. Not so much story-wise. I just like the setting a little bit better. And I don't know. I guess I like it just a little bit better, but it's definitely not because of the Attack of the Clones that this film series has become after the third movie, Extinction. It's like everything's clones. Like, I kind of get it, but at the same time, it's like it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, and like that's why I said like they did the best. Okay, so they explained it where, hey, we can bring all these characters back in this movie, but then they did it with the worst plot ever. Like explaining, okay, so essentially what it is Alice gets stuck in a Russian kind of version of the hive, pretty much. And then
Yeah, it's a testing
because I
facility.
guess because of the prior elements from Afterlife, that they capture her and then put her in Russia. So they go all the way from New York to Russia.
Well, they were in Los Angeles,
Or yeah,
and
Los Angeles,
yeah,
sorry.
Los
But
Angeles.
like they went all the way from there, all the way across the globe to Russia. Then they put her in a thing, and then like it was like, so you explain explained what, like 3 or 4 more characters from the games in this movie. I
Yeah,
think
and I was about because it's what were you about to say real quick, Jeremy, and then I'll continue.
Well, my comment was, and I've said it in the previous podcast about the Resident Evil, was that I don't understand the naming of these movies. Like, I don't get why this one was called Retribution, because Retribution to me would have been like if they all would have went up against them and done something. Well, they didn't do that in this movie.
yeah,
No, they didn't.
I mean,
No,
so it was like,
it would
why
have
is
been
it called Retribution?
it would have been made more sense if they said Resident Evil Escape, like, because essentially
it's
that's what they're or Prison Break or something, something where it's like like going with the plot of the movie. Because I
it
mean, I
would
think they had good elements in this movie, but then it went like the story is what caved it for me.
It is. And so, as you know, this movie stars Milla Jovovich, Sienna Gilroy, I'm probably mispronouncing that, returns as Jill Valentine. Michelle Rodriguez comes back as Rain. Oded Fair as Carlos slash, even though his name's not said in the movie, it's Todd, when he plays
Oh, like
Alice's
for the
husband.
opening movie part.
Yeah. And then Sean Roberts is back as Albert Wesker. Boris Kojo is back as Luther, and Colin Salmon is back as his character's name is One, and he's the leader of the team from the first movie. But it also introduces some video game characters. Ada Wong, played by Bingbing Li, who honestly, I will say this, she looked the most like her game counterpart. Um, Even though I don't get the functionality of the evening wear dress, but even her the actress they chose, like that was actually good casting, I think,
Yeah,
for Ada.
that's the best casting that they had out of the
That was
whole
the
movie, I think,
best casting.
because she
Uh,
looked the part of Ada Wong, and she even did shit that probably Ada would have done too.
I've still never understood the clothing for any of them. I mean, what Alice
no,
wears is just like, what? And she
this is
went
the
from being naked to being in that black outfit, and I'm
yeah.
like, where
Well,
did that come from?
at least the black outfit is more appropriate for the situation.
Yeah, because
They
it would have
have
been weird for her to walk around with a towel on for like the
yeah.
whole movie.
Oh no, no, I get that, but she started off that way in almost every movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's
Except for pretty much. Except for the first, well, yeah, the first one she's naked in a shower. The second one she's naked in a hospital. The fourth one, the third and fourth one, well, she's not naked. Then this one she's naked, and so like half of them she starts out as naked. I guess it's kind of like that
It's probably
joke
because
about
Paul W.S. Anderson really loves her being naked.
he wants to show off her titties, but she's also Europe, and they're not as we are about nudity, so they're not as like prudish as a
Yeah.
culture as
Well,
opposed to American culture.
oh man, like when I watched this movie, I was like, I kept checking the time to see how much longer was left on it. That's why I was like, that's why, and it was only like an hour and a half
It's
or something like
yeah,
that, or like an
they're
hour
all
40
like an
minutes
hour
or
and a
something.
half, an
Yeah,
hour and 35.
it's like very a brisk movie, but then I'm sitting there still like there's like so many decisions. I'm like, okay, so like the beginning part like is like them retelling kind of Raccoon City with
And retconning.
another Alice, but Alice was named something different, and then there's a daughter that was deaf, And then what's it called? So the main thing that annoyed me, right? So they do this whole scene showing that she's deaf, does all this stuff, and then at one point they run into Alice again, like when they're trying to escape, because they explain that they were in, I forgot which pod that they were in, but there's like four or five that they had to get through to get to the elevator to exit the
The facility,
pods.
the testing facility, yeah.
So the one that she was in, she ran into the daughter, and it was like she instantly knew that she was deaf and knew sign language
Oh,
to tell
oh
her.
but that was what I was going to mention. I don't know if you guys noticed, the sign language was the same for everything that she said. Like she
Yeah,
would do like the same motion with her hand, regardless of what she said.
Oh, like whatever
And
she was saying.
yeah, so and I'm talking about Alice. I mean,
Yeah.
the little girl did more with her hands in relation to like sign language, but everything Alice would say, she would like do like you know how you're those like military games where or like SWAT where they motion their hand. That's what it
Oh, yeah.
reminded me of as she was doing that every time that she would talk.
it's
Like she would
it's yeah.
and and somehow I mean I understand, you know, deaf individuals, a lot of them can read lips. So you don't necessarily have to even do sign language with them. But
The
Yeah.
uh
well, the
That
little
I
girl is
just
actually she's actually deaf in real life.
it probably makes
Yeah,
sense why she would end up doing a lot of the
yeah.
signs like normal.
But it
So
makes sense that she would know sign language. But I was laughing at the fact that every time Alice would do it, she would do the same
Like
sign
they
regardless
didn't
of what
even,
she was saying.
yeah, and she didn't even say like, "Oh, she's deaf." And like, right?
Yeah.
It was
yeah,
like just a part of the movie. Oh, everybody else knows that she's deaf, so I know that she's deaf, and that's what I was like.
it's
They made a lot of dumb decisions in this
it's
where they could have
it's
just explained it with a line.
Oh,
it's
I
not
always
a
love.
it's
Sorry, I love too. Like later on, and I don't mean to cut you off, Joe, but the point where she rescues her out of that pod when the big creature. I don't know what the creature is called. I
Oh,
can't
it's called
remember.
a liquor, but it was a giant liquor. It seemed like.
Yeah, but she was in like the egg sack or whatever. I always find it funny that Alice has these superpowers, but she struggled getting her out of that pod. Like she was like,
Well,
oh,
technically, well,
trying to.
technically, that she didn't have the powers. They explained that she got her powers taken away in afterlife, so she was a weakened state through this a whole movie. So, like that kind of makes sense because that's why she like near the end of the movie, Wesker comes in and gives her the virus again. But also at the same time, how do you think that like just taking a syringe takes out all the like all the
But
virus, you know,
But
like
she
the
was still able
previous
to do
film.
all this stuff through the movie. What I'm getting at is she was fighting all this shit and doing all the flips and killing these big ass things with axes, but yet she comes up to this egg sack with a person in it and she can barely make it through a layer of it.
And
And that's just
especially she does her like okay, granted, they make the shots look cool to a degree, but everything that she does in this movie is practically her sitting there with like two guns, just like not undercover, just aiming at people, and everybody's missing her, even though that she's like right in the middle of everyone.
well
Like,
the thing
oh, you could
about
see me. What? Okay.
the thing about the sign language, well, from the thing that she knows she's deaf, they don't really ever explain it, but originally it was supposed to be that she has some of the memories, like they're telepathically linked. So she like had some of the
Well,
memories
I
from the
mean, they
Alice
could have
that died in
said
the
that in the
house.
movie.
They
But
could
like she
have.
was
They could have
surprised.
done a lot of
She was
things.
surprised when they died. That's why I was like, "What? Like another clone? Oh shit! I had so many clones in the third one, but I'm surprised that they still don't have more of me." I was like, "What?"
It's because because she was so they were supposed to be telepathically linked um but that's something they were supposed to explain and they never really I guess obviously they didn't. It was something that was mentioned, like it was supposed to be mentioned, and it's kind of like there's no explanation why Claire and Chris are not and Kmart are in
Yeah,
this movie.
yeah,
But it's like they originally one of the original stories was that uh, they were supposed to be in it, but Spencer Locke, who played Kmart, and Wentworth Miller were unavailable, and Ali Larder got pregnant, so they couldn't. That's why they weren't in the movie. But I do want to go that this movie also introduces Leon S. Kennedy, who's played by Johann Urb, and he looks like they bought him off Wish. Sorry, Johann, but you don't look like Leon. And they bring in Barry Burton, who's played by Kevin Durand.
and I like Kevin Durand, but he does not look like Barry. But I mean,
No, he doesn't.
Well, the
And
one that played the one that played Leon reminded me of what's his name, Norman Reedus.
yeah, a bit. Like,
he maybe he was channeling his inner Norman Reedus, but he looked like a low budget like Wish version of Leon, because
Oh no,
Leon was.
I totally get that. He didn't look like a Leon to me. He, like I said, he looked more like the dude from Walking Dead.
And it was annoying because like Leon, they kind of dress him like Leon from Resident Evil 4,
yeah,
which
that's what I thought too. And then the
yeah,
Barry,
and
it looked like, I don't know. It
from
looked like
Resident
a
Evil.
new thing from like it looked like they were trying to make it look like Resident Evil, but
Yeah,
they
because he was in
failed.
his quasi stars outfit, and Leon and Barry never met. Like they don't know
Yeah,
each other,
yeah,
and then they're partners in this movie. And this is the only continuity where Leon and Jill meet too, because in the games they've never met. They've never met either. And so this movie does take place a few weeks after Afterlife. Well, it opens up during the battle on the ship, the Arcadia, and then control Jill Valentine, who's under the control of Umbrella. She's 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 leading the team, and Alice, like Josh said earlier, is captured. She's in Russia. She encounters Ada. Wesker is now a good guy in this movie because he's the one who broke her out. He's the one who provided her with
yeah.
clothes
He
in
was
the
kind of like an anti-hero in this movie.
yeah.
But
Because
I
now they
mean, like
made
it leads into like the ending of the film at least on why he
yeah,
broke her out. But like
and he
it looked like it was setting up something where it was like a bunch of the video game people were going to come together and like help save the world type of thing. And it just was not, it just did not work because I mean, I watched Final Chapter and from what I hear, it's like, it's only like Alice and shit or like barely anybody in that one.
it's Claire. Claire's the only other person in it
Yeah. So
from
like,
the series.
yeah,
Yeah.
so like what's it called? It just seems like that's why the whole thing is kind of like a continuity thing. Like in
Well, they
every
read.
movie and it seems like they just come up with ideas and they're like, "Yeah, let's do this." Because this movie was like it looked like they were trying to if they were going to wrap it up, they would have done it like that in this movie, right? Because like they had Jill and they had Barry and they had Leon and all these other fucking people. But like, and like, I liked how Michelle Rodriguez was back in it, but then there was like two different versions, and then one they started introducing the Las Plagas thing. Like, I mean, they kind of did that in Afterlife too, but like they did it where like she at the end she like injected herself with some, and then it turned her into like Wesker,
Yeah, because
essentially.
Las Plagas was introduced in Resident Evil 4, the game, and then the bad guy of this movie is apparently the Red Queen, and which is it's like she's now the bad guy. Even it makes no sense because they retcon so much. Because in Resident Evil Extinction, they said the virus is spread by rats. However, in this movie, they say Umbrella sold the Umbrella sold the virus to Russia because of the United States, and then sold it to the United States because of Russia, sold it to China because of Japan, and vice versa. And so they retconned it to say that it was a biological war that caused the zombie outbreak. So basically, the world just decided we're going to buy a zombie virus from this company, and they off themselves. That's what they
Yeah.
instead of it being that's what it was. So basically, these countries use the virus on each other, and they're the ones who fucked everything up because they're like, oh, we need a zombie apocalypse. That's what we need
Yeah.
because that's going to be stoppable.
And then it looked like they kind of like introduced. I mean, like I don't think that there was. I guess there were like Russian zombies, but like I was like,
Yeah,
I
Russian
wonder if it
army.
was Nazi zombies. That's what
Well,
I was like wondering
right.
at one point because the way that they were looking and they were all like, "Oh, okay, I can use miniguns and shit. Like zombies can use miniguns." I was like,
They
"What?"
can use
Like I was like, "What
it's.
sense is this movie?" Like,
It doesn't make any sense
yeah,
because
like, and then there was like a liquor, but he was like 3 times the size as most of their liquors, and
yeah,
then
because
Well,
liquors are human sized. They're
yeah,
the size
well,
of a human.
well, the other thing was too the guys with the axes looked noticeably bigger in this one.
yeah,
Remember
like
the two at the
they looked.
beginning? They were taller than the damn bus,
Yeah, it looked like they were like 7 or 8 feet tall or
and
something.
their axes were enormous because they were the size of the bus. I mean, it
And
was like,
oh
my
man,
lord.
the whole thing on that scene was so goofy. Like how she exploded the car and then it took them out. I was like, oh my god, I can already see what it
I
was.
didn't.
And then it kind of like he did the same
Well,
kind of shit that he did in the movie previous in Afterlife, but with 2 guys. Like where it looked like he was trying to film it in 3D. It's like, like I was just
I
like, what
think
the
it.
fuck is this shit, man?
I think this was in 3D
it
because this was.
was it was in
Yeah,
IMAX 3D also, but
yeah.
you could tell, especially with that scene, because the axe went slow towards the screen,
It's got to go
and
towards the camera.
but I one thing I could say about this one, there was nowhere near as much slow mo in this one.
Yeah, this. Like I said, I think this movie is a little bit better than the last
Yeah,
one.
I would say that it's
And
probably a little bit better, but not by much. It's like
no, oh no,
I
they
would
kind
say
of go
like it's
downhill.
like a 2 for like Afterlife, if that.
Yeah,
That's being liberal, and this is
it's
like a 2.1 or something. Just a
right,
little bit better,
a little bit better.
but not like
Well,
by much.
and Red Queen reminded me of the girl from Aliens.
Yeah. Oh
Are you
yeah.
talking about Newt?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mute
dude. Yeah.
or
Newt?
Newt.
Well, the whole scene with the liquor capturing Becky was a homage to Aliens, which is why she was in the sack because it was captured by for the alien queen. But the liquors, they don't capture you; they just fucking kill you.
Yeah, that's
Like
why I thought it was weird.
they don't
That's why I
capture
said there was
you.
so much stuff in this movie that was just dumb as shit. Like I thought it was funny. Leon would say like, "Oh yeah, she always got a plan B," and then she gets fucking captured by the bad guys.
She got captured, and then
Yeah,
he's
I
like,
was like, "Oh yeah,
"Plan
that's one hell of a
B,
plan B, man." Like that's
Plan B, getting captured."
that's what I'm
All
saying. This whole
right.
movie was just like, oh my god. I was like, oh shit, 35 minutes left. Oh shit, like 20 minutes. Damn it, we need to hurry this shit up.
Oh, that's funny.
But you can
Oh,
tell why they kept making them, though. I mean,
oh, they
this was number 5, and it made 240 million in the box office.
Oh yeah. Like they
they
could have
they were
probably made
making
like
money.
another 2 or 3 after this, but thank God he decided to fucking kill it off.
Well, I'm
It
just
needed to
saying
die.
that. Yeah, I get that, but I'm just saying that you could tell why they kept making them because they they all were making money. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
like they
and
weren't.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the Underworld movies. Obviously, they stopped making money for them because otherwise they wouldn't have kept. They would have kept making them.
well,
Well, the
it's because
final one made 312 million. So when we talk about that one, it's like they just kept making money. I'm just surprised they stopped making them,
Oh,
honestly.
so they might have just did it because Kate Beckinsale and him split up. Maybe
oh
I don't
no,
know.
No,
he's
I'm
talking
talking
about
about
the
Resident
Resident.
Evil. Yeah, the
He's
next
talking about
Resident Evil movie.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, because I thought the last one bombed, to be honest with you. But then I was reading about it, and when we started discussing this doing these movies, and I'm like, damn, it actually did well. I
Well,
was like, because
obviously, it's
I
for
thought it was a
casual
bomb.
people that watch the movies.
Yeah,
Like
it's
because
just
like anybody that was a fan of the games, like at one point would stop watching the movies, like I did. Because they kind of just went into their own continuity errors, like constantly. And if I see in the final chapter them explaining the fucking Resident Evil shit again, I swear. I was like,
They
fuck, can
kind
I
of
fast forward through this shit? Everybody knows about the damn virus already. It's the fifth
they kind
movie.
of they kind of retcon some shit in the next one too.
Well, well,
So
that's what I'm saying. It's like they
yeah,
explain shit over and over again. Like in practically
it's
every movie, they're like, "Oh well, this is what happened. The world went to shit, and then there's
it's
zombies."
oh yeah,
In every
dude.
single one, they explain it. I'm like, you don't have to fucking explain it every time.
No,
Or
they
they
have
went to
to.
shit different though in every one.
Yeah,
That was the problem. So it's and I think that's the continuity thing that Joe's talking about. Is that in one
yeah,
it went to shit because of this, and then another one it went to shit because of this, and then now they're getting ready to
this,
change it again. It went to shit because of something else. So it's like,
yeah.
well,
Yeah, it's just like fucking dumb as
It's
shit. I'm like,
no,
dude.
yeah, it's fucking dumb, dude. Like this is why I'm glad they pulled the plug because I actually do, as a whole, like these movies. Like I can tell you, I can still enjoy a stupid movie, and I still enjoy this franchise.
I
Of
mean,
course, I
if
think
it
the
was
best.
like a regular ass movie, if it was like Underworld or something, it would probably not be the same thing. But knowing that it's a Resident Evil movie, that's when I'm like, nah, I'm not wanting, nah, bruh.
It's. I mean, I
But I
still
mean, I
want.
get it, but yeah.
I mean, I still want some movies based on the actual games. At
well, I
least
always think it's funny. I think we talked about that. Was that I don't know why they don't just take the game and make a movie about it.
and they kind of do. They kind of
They
do
kind of
with
do that in Welcome to
Welcome.
Raccoon City. They kind
Yeah,
of do.
they kind of do
They
that with
kind they
Welcome
kind
Raccoon City.
which I shouldn't spoil any of the shit that I'm saying. Like, I should just leave it open. But like, okay, if there's anything the truest representation so far out of the games and the movies and everything, like the one that's closest to the game is Welcome to Raccoon City. Not saying that it's particularly great either, but it's the closest one to it. Like this movie, I would have been so fucking pissed if they had Barry in this movie and he didn't pull out his fucking gun. Like I was just sitting there, I was like, this motherfucker's like shooting an M16 the whole damn time, and then you could have done a crack about the fucking Jill sandwich thing. What the fuck? You could have done anything with Barry in this damn movie, and I would have probably laughed at it. But it was like they didn't even do anything with his character, and then at the very end, he pulls out his fucking pistol.
He died, Josh. That's what he was there to do.
I know,
Even
that's
though
what I'm
he's
saying. That's what I'm like. I fucking hate it, man. I fucking hate it.
because he was a fan favorite character, like because he had like the cheesiest dialogue in the first game, because like not the Resident Evil remake that came out a few years before this movie did on the GameCube, but like in 1995, 1996, when this game first came out, you know, he's like, you were almost a Jill sandwich, here, take this, you're the master of unlocking. Like he had
Yeah, he has
like
some great one-liners in
he
the.
did what is this blood? Hope it's not Chris's blood. Like he had
Yeah,
like all
I mean,
the
I
like the
think he was
cheesy
the first
lines.
one that gave her the shotgun, wasn't it? I
I
think
can't
I'm pretty
remember.
sure that I think he gave the shotgun to Jill, but I mean, I can't remember that for sure. But like, I swear, I thought he was like at one point in the game, he was like, "Hey, I found this," and gives her the shotgun. Because that's one thing I like about the games that they did when they explained it from like different perspectives. I liked how like certain people got weapons that others didn't. I know
Yeah,
that's me going off on another tangent or whatever. That way, it was like it gave you reasons to use both characters and go through both stories.
here's something that when we were talking about this movie and the last movie. So this is some trivia here. I call all the trivia in this movie resident trivia because I have to come up with something creative and stupid, just like the movie. So the original plan was to film this movie simultaneously with the upcoming sixth installment, making it essentially a two-part finale, which actually would have made sense. In the early stages of development, Ali Lauder and Whitworth Miller were slated to be in the cast. When the studio backed out of the filming for 2 movies, Claire and Chris were scrapped from the production plans, and the film. And then, of course, there was, according also later in the trivia, was conflicts, but made it clear that Resident Evil Retribution would be a standalone film. The only carryover, though, was the tagline, which bills the 5th film as the beginning of the end. And so, like, if they had done that as a back-to-back and released them, like, say, a year apart, that probably would have made at least something kind of cohesive. But the fact that, because when we get to the final chapter, we're going to discuss, because this final chapter takes place right after the battle at the end of the movie, and we're going to discuss that. So it's really fucking stupid. Here's something else I want to mention real quick. So, an early version of the script was also the reveal the entire elite unit that infiltrated the hive from the first film were clones. This would explain like why the reappearance of Rain in 1, and also the subplot was eliminated from the film. There's still a hint. Ada Wong explains to Alice that Umbrella utilizes 50 basic models for their clones by simply changing their memories and their predicament. Alice herself is one of the 50 prototypes. This information is actually foreshadowing something from the 6th movie, which I won't go into because we're going to talk about it next time, but just keep that in mind. And they were going to bring back the female medic from the hive and the guy who played Kaplan. But they didn't. So there was something else too. Let's see. The bone cracking X-ray is a reference to Mortal Kombat 2011.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. I was like, okay, that's stupid. And I also don't like how they killed off the black dude. I forgot his name in the movie.
That's Luther. They killed off Luther.
They killed off Luther by doing the X-ray thing. Then they do the exact same move on Alice, but she doesn't die. I'm like, fucking seriously?
That's what I was saying. She supposedly lost her powers, but yet
she was able to survive that shit. Yeah.
And I agree with Jeremy there, because when you're watching the scene where she's fighting the zombies in the light tunnel from Tokyo, she's doing shit that normal people can't fucking do. I get it. She's the head of security for the hive. I get that she's specially trained in hand-to-hand combat and using weapons. You can do that. But some of the shit that she goes through would only make sense if
she was so superpowered, yeah.
If she still had her powers. At least some of them. But she's... Because, like, when she first loses her powers and goes against Wesker, she's weak as shit. But later in the movie, this is Afterlife, going back to the last movie, she's able to do shit. And then you get to this movie, she's still able to do some shit that's kind of superhuman. When the only other character that comes close to that is Ada, but Ada doesn't do anything as extreme as Alice. And so it doesn't make sense. Now, with Rain, it makes sense at the end of the movie because she's infected with the Las Plagas, where she's invulnerable. So she's super, which I don't know if that would make her super strong, but it made her where she was unstoppable. And Jill's being artificially controlled, similar to Las Plagas, but through the manipulation of the device on her chest. That's why I thought
that fight was stupid with her, like, because she took off the spider off of Claire in the previous movie. So why wouldn't she be like, oh, okay, I'm going to go for the spider the whole time? And then she was losing to Jill the whole time. And then she's like, oh, shit, now I got to go for the spider. You fucking moron.
It's like...
that's why I said there are certain things in this movie just irk me.
It's not that it doesn't make sense. Like, I was pissed they killed Luther. Like, Barry... it sucks that Barry died because I think he's alive in the game continuities. But... I can live with Barry dying. I can live with the rest of the team dying.
Yeah, I understand that, especially if you're trying to be like, oh, well, some of the members had to go, but like it was like, really? Did you have to get rid of certain? Like, really, honestly, they didn't even really need to get rid of most of the people.
No, and it's like you killed Luther off, and it's like he went out. He kind of went out like a little bitch.
Yeah,
because he
pretty
gets
much.
punched.
They were fighting, and then he gets punched in the chest, and then his heart stops. Just like,
and
oh
and then
shit.
and then like Josh says, Alice Alice gets the same punch, but she doesn't. Her heart never stops. Her rib cage is broken, just like Luther's,
Yeah.
but she still survives,
But let
and
me
that
guess,
makes
as
no
soon as she gets that
sense.
damn Las Plagas shit at the end of the movie, or I'm
Well,
guessing that it was the Las Plagas stuff, or is it just the regular T virus that made
it
her
was the
super
T
timid?
virus. It was supposed to be the T virus that she got again because,
Okay.
yeah, that's all it was. Is like it was a rehash
So
of
that just makes that
the.
she's even more powerful than Wesker and all these other bitches then. If she only got the T virus and then she was stronger than them, like what would have happened if they gave her the Las Plagas shit? Like
Yeah, that's what I would have given
she would have
her.
probably gotten, she would have probably destroyed everybody.
It's kind of like the because I think the zombies that the Russian zombies that pull rain down in the from the ice, I think they had the Las Plagas too. I think I think because they survived the explosion, which that should have pretty much taken everything out that was down there. So I think they were part of that too. But speaking of Russians, I wanted to mention this because I think it's funny, and I think y'all get a kick out of it. So when this movie was released in China, they because China's China and they hate they're particular because they're communist. They had the film studio had to remove all the Soviet USSR slash CCCP paraphernalia. So because they couldn't show that in China, they had to get rid of all the Soviet Russia images.
Oh, well, like all the hats and shit off of the zombies or something?
All the logos. They had to
Shit.
delete them, and they probably had to do all that shit digitally too, because China's because they're like they had the Sony's not American, but the film studio's like, oh, we got to bound to China because they're now the second to largest movie market in the world now. China is. It's huge.
Well, how could they
be,
not
now
with
it's freaking
800
huge.
billion people there? I mean, it's like
Yeah. And
I'm exaggerating with the 800 billion, but they've got a lot of people. So I
yeah,
mean, logically makes sense that they would be that big of a market. But why studios bow down to them? It's like, well,
it's like who the
yeah, money, man, money.
Oh, I get that, but at the same time, we need to kind of, I wish they would just do what they want to do and then just deal with the repercussions for whatever they do. Make the movie they want to make it and release it the way they want to release it. I mean, it costs just as much money to fix all that shit than it does that. Be honestly interesting to see what the rate of return was. For them removing all that stuff, how much more money did they make? I mean, it's like, anyway.
No, I feel you. Another interesting thing is when they're in the White House at the Oval Office at the end of the movie, where she's going to meet Wesker, and if you notice, the Great Seal of the United States is depicted with the eagle's head facing his left talon, which is holding the 13 arrows. That's used to symbolize war, as opposed to during peacetime when the eagle's head is facing its right talon with the olive branch depicting peace. So that's kind of cool that they did that in the movie too. Thought that was kind of cool.
Well, there's only certain things that I liked in this movie, so only certain things. Other than that, it was a hot piece of shit. I'm just saying.
I do like the fact they brought back Rain, because if they're gonna do, I love Michelle Rodriguez, so I was happy to see her.
That's what I'm saying.
I was happy to see Oded Fair again, and
it would have been cool if they would have
killed Luther.
Yeah, like I don't like how they killed off all these people, and then they, like, even if they're like, oh yeah, they got a shit ton of clothes of everyone. Okay, that's understandable, but come on, man.
I was just gonna say that though, is that I feel they should have brought everybody back.
I think they probably should have just found a way to bring everyone back. If that means they had to delay the movie, because it took
I'll be right back.
It took from 2012 to when did Final Chapter come out? Or, I don't remember off the top of my
Final
head.
Chapter came out in 2016.
And it was a big gap. So, and obviously it made like really good money. So why wouldn't they just wait to get all the game characters together? Because I mean, you can't kill Chris because he's a mainstay. You can't kill Claire because she's a huge popular fan favorite. Leon, no. Well, actually, that version of Leon, yeah, he could have died, and that probably would have been not so sad. But like, they should have, the sixth movie should have been everybody. It should have been everybody. Like,
and the sixth movie should have been called Retribution, not this one.
Yeah,
and
sorry about that.
and
I'm house sitting at the moment, so I got 3 dogs at the house, and 2 of them are not getting along
good.
with the other one. So,
well, for anybody listening to the podcast, you won't hear the dogs in the background. I will edit that out. I'll just.
It's just we're gonna get to next time. We're gonna get to the final chapter, and I think Josh, you're gonna hate this one more than this movie.
I'm sure I will, because I mean, like, once I saw, because it was funny because I didn't even realize that they made Retribution. I thought it just went straight to Final Chapter, but I stopped following after the Afterlife. So that I'm like, I already know, like, they brought back certain people. I know that, but like, I already knew it was going to be shit anyway. So
it's
you're like, it's a movie. That's right.
Yeah, it's filmed. It's probably digitally filmed. It's a film ish. I mean, I stand by this. I think Resident Evil and Resident Evil Apocalypse are literally the 2 best in the whole series. I like them both, and because they're the ones that, like, I will say Resident Evil is a little bit better than Resident Evil Apocalypse, even though I think Resident Evil Apocalypse has some really good dialogue. It has some really good. It introduces a lot of really cool characters like Carlos. Extinction, it introduced Claire, which is really the only thing I like about that movie. Afterlife introduces Chris, finally. And Luther, the 2 things about that movie that were really good. This one, it gives us Leon, but he looks like they. And I feel bad because I don't want to shit on the actor.
Leon, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the actor they got. I'm sorry, dude. You don't look like Leon. Ada Wong, probably the best casting in this whole movie. I like the girl who played Becky, the little girl. She was actually cast because the movie Orphan, because she's the little sister in the movie Orphan, and that's why she was cast. I had her name here. It's her last name, I think, is Engineer. Where'd I have that trivia? Ariana. And she's an orphan, and her character's hearing impaired, that obviously, because she's a hearing impaired actress. But like, so that, I mean, like, I don't even, the little girl's fine. You know, I liked Oded Fair because I think he got done dirty in Resident Evil Extinction. LJ in Resident Evil Extinction got really done dirty.
Well, that's what I was wondering. It would have been cool if they were bringing all these people back, then they would have brought back people from like all the other movies. But like, I get why they did. Right.
That's what I was saying. This was a perfect opportunity for them to do that.
And they did.
Everybody was cloned, so they could have made them a different version of them. This was that whole comic book argument that I always talk about, but I still, for the life of me, like, I think, you know, the whole game thing, it cracks me up why they just don't take the game and make a movie out of it. I mean, and I'm talking about strictly the game. Like, you take Resident Evil 1 and you make it a movie. Resident Evil 2, you make it a movie and just adapt it to frickin' screen. And you could do that. It's like Mortal Kombat to me was the closest to what the game was, but the thematic elements of the Mortal Kombat back in 1990, whatever it was, it shouldn't have been PG.
Yeah.
And that's
like
that's the thing. I
so.
think I heard that movie was being.
Yeah, and I think the newest Mortal Kombat, I've heard the sequel is going to be that way. I think the first one was setting up like their backstories, but
Yeah.
the next one that they'll be making will be related to the tournament and how that actually goes down. The first one, and I'm talking about the newest one. Um,
That you're talking
Oh,
about. Okay,
I
so
don't even
you're
know if
talking.
they're filming that one yet or not.
I don't know if they're filming it, but yeah, I did hear that they are making not Resident Evil, Mortal Kombat 2 because the first one did really well on HBO Max, and I actually like that version of Resident Evil, or not Resident Evil, sorry, Mortal Kombat, and I wish, and even the Sonic movies
Yeah,
are
I really like the Sonic movies too.
like
Uh,
even because, and this is linking video game movies, like the Sonic movies are done really well. The new Mortal Kombat, while it could have been better, was done really well. And the sequel, it's a backstory movie, which was what the original Resident Evil movie was. And that would have been fine to do a setup and then make the next movie take place.
like
Why couldn't you
around
have
the
done?
time, yeah.
Yeah, have it take place in the Spencer Mansion. Like you could still do the setup and then do the Spencer Mansion with the Stars team, and then Resident Evil 2 be Resident Evil 2 with takes because that takes place 2 months after the events of the first game, and because these games, these not every movie will lend itself or game will lend itself to being converted to a movie, but like I feel like Resident
But a
Evil is
lot
just
of
like
yeah, like certain
it's like
ones,
right there.
the shit's so easy that there should be no reason why they shouldn't make one just based off of the games. I get like why certain directors would want to take their own liberties and make something different out of it, but also at the same time, if it ain't broke, it don't fix it. You know,
That's one thing I hate. I hate when people are like, "Oh, I got to fix it because it's broken." It's like it's not broken. It's
like you don't need to
just
say the Jill sandwich line. You could joke about it though in the movie, or like, hey, are you an actual like you could see like a thing where it talks about like a newspaper article or something saying, hey, do you want to be the master of unlocking? Then get
yeah.
this pick lock or something. You know, like you could do something different instead of like where it's a bunch of callbacks or fan servicey shit for people. Like, come on, man. Like it's right there. So like
Yeah,
that's
you don't have to do fan servicing if everything's in the game that's in the
yeah,
movie. That's why I was saying that,
exactly.
so it's like if you have dogs in the game in the first one, then there should be dogs in the first
Like, why
movie.
didn't they do big spiders? Like, I'm surprised that they haven't done big spiders in any of them.
No,
Like,
yeah, because I think in the first game there's a big spider.
yeah,
Yeah, it's in the
that's what I'm
first
saying.
game.
There's big spiders, and then I think there's like a big crocodile. I think either
Yeah,
that or it's in the second one, but I'm pretty sure it's a big crocodile in the
But I
first
mean, I
one.
think they're starting to get in the realm of doing these because now you're starting to see like more game related things. Like Uncharted came out last year, and then that Halo series, so they're starting to do
Even though
more.
that I've heard
And
iffy things on the Halo series, but
I
I mean,
have too, but I mean, it's not hard to make this shit. You could do Mass Effect too. I'm surprised they haven't done that. I mean,
yeah, that would
there's
be
all
great if
types
they
of
did
stuff.
Mass Effect.
Well,
I would love to see a Mass Effect movie. That
yeah,
would be so awesome.
yeah. I mean, all of this stuff, and there's options with Netflix. I was talking to my kids about it. Was that you can make these games, and I think I talked to you about it, Josh, when we did the Little Hope playthrough. Is you can do a movie like that. But on Netflix, you can have them, those interactive ones where you actually choose the path and then it
Oh
changes
yeah,
the whole damn movie, like a choose your own adventure type thing.
yeah.
I
I think the only one that they really have is the Bandersnatch one, where it's a Black Mirror type one,
well,
where
they
it's
have
like
that, and I think as
I
far as
know
like
that they have
horror
the
or whatever, but they
Undertaker
have
stuff, but
they have Bear Grylls has a show on there that
oh
does the
yeah, I
same
forgot
thing
he
too. But
had one too. Yeah,
They
but I
have a
mean,
Choose Your Own Adventure show on Netflix.
well,
yeah.
yeah,
There's
there's
a
a bunch
few.
of them. They're called Netflix interactive movies, but they like literally you select like what you want to do next, and it actually goes to a different scene based on what you choose, and and you could do that with games too. Like, think about a Resident Evil thing that you do, like this Resident Evil series that they just did, right? And you're like portraying, you're watching it in from the storyline of Leon or Claire, and that goes a different way depending upon how you do it. You know what I mean? Just like so, I'm just shocked that they don't go down different paths with a lot of this stuff.
Because I just think Hollywood's just devoid of originality now,
Well,
and I think
if somebody figures out the formula, if I had the skill set for that, I'd probably try to do it myself.
I wish someone would just do a proper adaptation of Resident Evil.
Maybe under the Heart of Geek banner, we'll figure something out. No, I'm just kidding. No.
So I do want to rate this one. Do y'all think this one should let
Fucking
it die,
burn it in
let
the
it die, or
acid.
rest in peace? I think it should die.
Like,
let it die.
I don't even like it. Shouldn't have never been made for fucking shit. Like,
well, yeah, I say that. It's funny. Like I said, I think you let it die too. But the funny thing is, when you start looking at the box office, I'm just still shocked that they made any past the second one. But then it's like when they made the second, because at first they weren't making really any money. The budgets were like 30 or 40 million, and they were only making 100. So it's like I'm shocked that they even made the third one. But then the third one blew up. So it was like, well. After that, I think they were like, well, shit, these are making money, so maybe I'll make another one. And then the fourth one made more money, and so they made a fifth one, and the fifth one made more money. And then the sixth one was their highest grossing movie. So so you could see why they made them, but it's funny when they make decisions on movies when certain ones take. So, for example, Top Gun took how many years to make a sequel to it?
Like 20 plus years or something like that.
And the first one made a ton of money, right? But these Resident Evil movies, they make $100 million when they've got a $40 million budget, and they're made every 3 or 4 years. And it's like, well, what the hell? And then Top Gun Maverick just blows everything out of the water. I think it's still in the theaters, and it's still making a shit ton of money. So
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like why they make decisions the way they do sometimes just it blows my mind. Why stuff gets held back and then other things get like yearly.
Yep.
The Saw movies were a good example for a while there. Every year they were coming out with one.
Yep. And then after that, then it was the Conjuring movies. Then it was like Insidious too. They were doing that too. Some I was just surprised that they even came out with like another Ouija movie. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, and I don't mean to step on your podcast but we do have other podcasts. But so Joe, if you wanted, we're going to be talking about Hocus Pocus and Hocus Pocus 2 in the next Scream Creep podcast.
Nice.
So if you wanted
to join
us on that one.
Yeah, just let me know when. I'll see, because my job, I have to get up so freaking early for my new job.
Yeah, and then we were also talking about maybe watching the new Hellraiser movie and Halloween Ends. Those are
I can't wait to do. I can't wait to see Halloween Ends.
Yeah,
like I'm excited.
I just hope it's better than Halloween Kills. That's it.
I liked Halloween Kills, but yeah, I think it was the weakest out of the first two so far, or the new trilogy.
Well, the trailer alludes to the only way it can end is if Jamie Lee dies. So,
I hope they don't kill her off. But if they do, they do.
That would be the third time that they did.
Well, yeah, because she died. Yeah, she died in the Rob Zombie, Lori, and she dies off screen in a newspaper article in Halloween 4.
And then she died in Halloween. I think it was Halloween Resurrection.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that she died in Halloween Resurrection. Michael throws her off the roof or some shit.
Yeah. Anyways, I didn't mean to, bring that up on this podcast, but I, cross promoting.
Okay. Cross promotion, man.
Yeah.
But nothing wrong with that. So, but I guess that's where we're going to wrap it up, because I think we've said all we want to say. Like, there's some interesting, again, this one was, I'd have to probably rank this third out of all of them because I don't think it sucks as much as 3 and 4, and definitely 6 we'll talk about next time. Um, but I definitely gonna have to let Josh talk a lot more on number 6 because I really want to know what he thinks of number 6. If he
Dude,
hated this
I'm
one
sure
and he
that
hated the last one,
dude,
I
I'm
want to
probably gonna be
know.
shitting all over the last one. I'm telling you that
I
right
want to
now. I'm
know.
probably gonna be shitting all over it.
I want to know so bad. So I think there's gonna be like an introduction, and there's gonna be an hour long Josh rant on Resident Evil: The Final Chapter.
Dude, I've done that at freaking work too. Like when we were talking about, we were watching these, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm not looking forward to this." And then I started watching like Afterlife. I'm like, man, I started talking about Afterlife. Then I'm like, oh great. And then we got these other two after this. Oh man, it's even gonna get worse. And then I watched
Uh,
this one, and it was like a little bit better than 4, but still not by much.
I want to. I think what I'm gonna do next is I want to do. Well, we're gonna do Welcome to Raccoon City, but after we finish that, we're not gonna talk about the series as far as like covering it on the podcast because, well,
I
for
don't
one, it
feel
got
like going through all that torture to watch the whole thing.
no.
When I stopped, like, it was like 10 minutes into the second episode. I was like, yeah, no.
I couldn't. I literally couldn't get in it, and I tried, man. I
Well, that's what
tried.
I was saying. I was giving it the benefit of the doubt, but there was so much stupid in the whole thing. There was so much stupid. It was like, there was just like an abundance of stupid, and it's not so much like how it's a black female lead or like a bunch of black people in the movie or like so much shit's changed out of it. I think just the story was incredibly weak, and like they did shit that was even worse than in these movies, like where it didn't even make me want to keep watching. Like it's one thing when you want to like keep on watching shit to like uh see where it leads. It was like, no, I don't even know. I feel like I'm gonna get dumber watching this show.
When she was like when she literally they've already had one zombie apocalypse because like this obviously is supposed to take place after the game stuff. Even it's implied. So like New Raccoon City. So obviously they didn't. I don't think it's really a nuke that they use on Raccoon City because of but whatever they use to destroy Raccoon City in the games. And so they get like the girl, she's like in, I guess, the United, she's in London or the United, she's in England, I think in London. And she's like, I'm going to set this rabbit out and make it bleed to see if the zombies form some sort of like
Try to be
pact
smart or something.
or smart. And then I'm like, well, fuck you, bitch, for sacrificing that rabbit. And then she cuts herself, and then they detect her. I'm like, that's what you get, you stupid ass bitch. I hope they get you.
Yeah, I know exactly. And then on top of it, it was like, how don't they just not detect you anyway? It's not like they can't see you. Like you haven't explained that. Oh, they're blind by now, or whatever the fuck. It's like, it was stupid from all the way around. And then they ended the first episode with her jumping off of like a 20-foot, uh, a 20-foot building or some shit onto a car. And then, oh, I didn't get broken legs or nothing. It was like, what? Okay, now you're really just trying to fuck with me.
I just want Resident Evil done right. And
Yeah, and I don't want to fucking feel like my intelligence is wasted. That's the main thing. I don't feel like I'm just like, fuck, I gotta be super dumb for me to enjoy this TV show.
yeah, I really did try because I give everything the benefit of the
Like,
doubt.
you should at
And
least try something to find out if you like it, because a lot of people, like, before we end it, I'll just talk about She-Hulk. Like, a lot of people have been hating on She-Hulk, which I think She-Hulk is very funny. Like, I mean, they've talked about like She-Hulk twerking and it wasn't even really during the episode. It was like the end of the episode because they were talking about Megan the Stallion the whole time, right? in one of the episodes. So then they did a thing where she was there at the end of the show, and then she was like, "Oh," and she was fangirling. So she's like, "Oh, I'm twerking to Megan the Stallion," and that was it. And then I was like, I thought that was funny, and people were freaking out. "Oh, She-Hulk is twerking." I'm like, I don't care. Like, I honestly don't care. Like,
I've made a
I'm
few.
laughing at the show. Like, thank you.
I'll be honest with you. I don't want to watch it, so I don't. If you don't want to watch something, don't watch it. Just don't bitch about it.
Yeah, like,
Like,
I give everything the benefit of the doubt, and like the weakest show that I've seen, like that Marvel has done, is Miss Marvel, but that's pretty much the main thing. Like, and that's not because like I don't like the character. I think just the story was incredibly weak, and it's yeah, like it was very weak premise for the whole show. Not saying that I didn't like this show either. I just think that it's the weakest one that I've seen that Marvel has done so far. Out of all the other shows that they've done, all the other movies that they've done, weakest show. But yeah, that's going on to like talking about shows and shit. I can't wait until we watch the final chapter just so I can be done with the damn Resident
yeah.
Evil movies.
Well, no. We still have Welcome to Raccoon City.
Well, at least I watched Welcome to Raccoon City already, right? Like, so I got that one. So I already know my thoughts on it. The final chapter, I already know I'm probably gonna be like, "Fuck, I hate this movie." Like,
I can't wait. I can't wait. Jeremy, any final thoughts in regards to Retribution?
Nope, I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about.
All right. Well, all right. So for Sci-Fi Graveyard, I want to thank everyone for listening. We'll be back in a few weeks with the final chapter of Resident Evil, and then a few weeks after that, Welcome to Raccoon City. Now, after we finish the Resident Evil series, I don't know what we're going to do because I haven't planned that far ahead. But once I figure out a movie, I'll let everyone know.
yeah, we'll figure something else out.
Figure something out. So if anyone if y'all have any ideas, throw them my way.
Yeah, and if you guys enjoyed this one, remember to hit up our website at theheartofgeek.com. You can listen to all of our other podcasts.
Yes, with that cross promotion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm not just talking, I'm talking all of the Sci-Fi Graveyard stuff. You'll be able to see all the other ones or subscribe to the podcast on any of your favorite platforms.
Yeah, so definitely check out the website. Facebook is The Heart of Geek. Twitter's The Heart of Geek. They do Josh and Jeremy do streaming on Heart of Geek on Twitch.
Yeah, and lately we've been doing it like every Friday, just about, and like here and there, as long as there's not something else going on that time.
And then listen to the other podcasts: Screen Creeps, Morbid Instinct, and Wrestling with the Willies. If you like wrestling, just not with your Willie, but their last names are Willie. So
yep, and then with and. But yeah, the next one, what are we doing the next one for that, Josh? Is it
for what, wrestling? I think it's
the
next
Crown Jewel, right? Crown Jewel.
Oh yeah, it's probably Crown Jewel. Which
and then after that, Halloween
Logan
Havoc.
Fucking Paul, man. I'm always gonna consider him the Suicide Forest man.
Everyone's so pissed that he's getting a title shot at Crown Jewel.
Dude,
I'm like,
it's just their logic, man. He's definitely gonna lose. There ain't.
Well, he's gonna lose, and
yeah, I feel like it's just another month for Roman to be like, I'm safe with my title reign.
That, and the reason is people don't get this. Like, even Tony Khan was talking shit about the Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. Like, I'm leaving politics out of it because there are people who don't like it, but the government, like Saudi Arabia, kind of tells, like the kingdom kind of tells WWE, hey, we'd like to see some of these matches. So it could be them saying they want to see Logan Paul versus Roman. That could be something they've suggested, like they've done in the past. That's why they brought Shawn Michaels out of retirement.
I mean, it'll probably be our first covering Crown Jewel too, because we haven't watched Crown Jewel most of the time. Like, no, I know that the previous time we didn't watch it because of
we were on the cruise.
We were on the cruise, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, whatever, it'll be interesting. But if you want to hear more about it, you could talk about, we'll talk about it on the Wrestling with the Willies podcast, though.
Yes. So,
Yeah, I don't want to
anyway,
hijack Joe's podcast more than we already have.
Yeah,
that's fine. It's gotta get them numbers, gotta bump those numbers up. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so for Sci-Fi Graveyard and for Josh and Jeremy, I want to wish everyone a good night, and we'll see you next time on Sci-Fi Graveyard. Good night, everybody.
All right, peace.